We will talk about the 6 things that agencies are not telling their foreigner clients. Entrepreneur visa is a potential trap.
Yes, a little bit embarrassing to say that, but for my self-opinions, that's true. Because you can easily check that the entrepreneur visa's rules. If you want to extend it, you need to have the 3 million income. If you want to extend your entrepreneur visa, it's nearly like impossible.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
What's up, what's down, what's going on around? This is Startup Taiwan Foreigner's Business Guide. I'm Paolo Lising, founder at MillionDC.com. This YouTube channel and podcast are offshoot of my book, Startup Taiwan Foreigner's Business Guide. This channel will find answers to your questions about starting a business in Taiwan. So leave those questions in the comments section below. Enough about me, let's talk about our guests. Carter Lee is from Taiwan. He is founder of Fastart, a boutique agency that helps foreigners register their business in Taiwan. Fastart's mission is to find the fastest way to get foreigners' business up and running, including helping with business registration, work permit application, ARC, and accounting. Most recently, Carter and I started a co-working space called Space 21. Together, we want to offer more than a co-working space, but extra service such as help with marketing and basic accounting consulting free of charge. Carter finished his MBA from Zhongshan University and his bachelor's degree from the National Chengji University. Hi Carter, welcome to the show.
Hi.
This episode will be slightly different. We will talk about the 6 things that agencies are not telling their foreigner clients. But before we do that, I have some few questions with you.
No problem.
First question, what made you start Fastart?
The Fastart main vision and missions, we're trying to build a one-stop brand for foreigners to easily to deal with their setup process. So for foreigners, they were trying to set up a company here, but also they were facing the work problem and stay problem. So rather than different company in this industry, we're trying to provide more. So we were from setup company, and we're trying to make the fastest way to help you to set up a business here. And also we will consider about your work rights, because in Taiwan we're trying to protect the local local workers, so the rules will be strict. So we're trying to let the foreign can be fit with their work permits. And the third is the stay, because if you want to maintain your business in Taiwan, you definitely need to have the right to stay. So we were also trying to help that.
Okay, so I know that many of the agencies try to select which clients they will pick, and mostly, let's say, if you're an American or if you're from the UK, they will easily, work with these clients. But for some people from certain countries, they will try not to work with them. Is there a reason for this?
That's right. It seems that the Department of Economic, they have the rules about some of the country in the global organization. There is like A class. Some of them is like a C class. So for the Americans or like Europeans, they are at the A class. So the paper they provide, the Department of Economic will not question about that. So for example, when they provide like a CV, work and study experience, they just need to be honest to the Department of Economic. But for C-class countries, different. They need to be really provide a solid proof about the study and the work experience, like a degree or your work certification, work statement, or even more is like your bank statement that to prove you really have enough money to invest in. Or they might ask you the really solid, comprehensive business plan that you can really convince the Department of Economy you can really deal with your business in Taiwan. So that will cost a lot of extra time and extra cost. So some of the agency or accounting firm will trying to avoid this kind of case.
Okay, so I know that one of the key features or like the good things about Fastart is that you personally go with your clients to different offices, government offices, to file their papers. But do you think this kind of business is sustainable?
We'll say that for the manual cost is a little bit high, but two main reasons why I'm trying to do that is the first is we're trying to know the client better. We're trying to know what kind of business they are trying to do. So we can trying to give them a lot of different extra service. Like some of the business is doing the export import. So we'll know that after you set up your business, you need to do the export import registration. So we will just automatically just involve in. We were just like, oh, I don't know, it's not my business. We won't do that. So the second is the time. It's the time issue. Or for the setup till you get your work permits and you get your stay, your ARC, that you will face maybe 6 more different departments. So if you are really hurry with your case and you're always trying to do just the post service, then the time will be every post maybe just will take you 2 to 3 days. So 6 departments, that is 2 or 3 weeks more. Okay. So we're trying to save time for clients to really provide them the predictable times for them to prepare what kind of the further things after the setup things they need to prepare.
So what you're saying is that on one hand, you're learning about very specific case, and then on the other hand, by doing so, you're also making each transaction shorter because you avoid the postal office service.
Yes.
I have a question about some of your clients, because you always handle the difficult case. I must say that. What is the most difficult case that you've handled without naming the company, and how did you go about it?
I think one of more feature of the Fastart is we're not picking case. So even you're from some, as we mentioned about like C-class country, I'm sorry, but yeah, the global organization is a C-class country, we're still taking their case. So the most difficult case we are facing is, there's a case I'm really impressive is government asks a lot of things and really detail with that case. So from the background, they ask us to get the certification statement from his every education's period certification and every work certification, and need to be through verify. It means the local embassy need to be prove it is the truth. And the second is they ask us about the specific financial statement, and they're from the Arabic country, so the language is totally different. So we need to, even we translate into English and translate into Chinese, they still ask us that they cannot really sure that it's real. So we need to go being through the different departments to get the stamp. And they need a really detailed, comprehensive business plan, like how you prove that you can really survive in Taiwan, how you can really contribute your business in Taiwan for benefit our economic. But for this kind of things, this kind of question is really difficult to prove that. So we need to give them a lot of documents and make a lot of like the description about the real things we're doing. So we need to, even we're not really start a business, but we're already prepared that the things we're already start a business. So that is the most difficult one.
Okay. So I think what you're trying to say is that it's the key is to make sure that if you are applying for a business here, that all your papers has to be certified so that it flows smoothly with the government approval.
That's right.
Let me move to a little bit closer to cultural aspects related to Taiwanese. As you know, in the past week, we had Sunny Lee as our first Taiwanese guest, and many people actually thought she was from the US because of how she explained things to us. And my question is the same to you. Did you go to like cram school or special schools for your English? Why are you so confident with English?
For every Taiwanese, actually, when they grow up, most of their parents will force them to do the English cram school, or even all the education periods from elementary school to the college. You will get a lot of English educations. That is really happening in Taiwan now. So for English itself, I think most of Taiwanese is okay with that. They really have a lot of vocabulary background with that. So if you just point one thing, they can definitely say that in English, what kind is that? What kind of thing is that? But the most problem is I think it's confidence and you need to really self-courage about you can speak out. Sometimes we were really afraid that we're facing the foreign, but we'll be just a moment we're just shocked there, and we're not willing to talk. But I think most of people, if you can trying to encourage yourself, trying to be brave, and just a word, then I think that is the great move, great step out. Yeah.
I think I can say the same thing for foreigners who are trying to speak Chinese in Taiwan, right? I can say for myself, for example, that I have been here for quite a long time, but my Chinese hasn't really improved. And the key, I guess, is to really practice it with somebody, like be brave and, just talk. And I'm sure people are not going to laugh about whether your Chinese is broken or whether your English is broken, because that's already a second or third language that you're trying to speak. And it's actually impressive if you try to, to speak out.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I think we are on this part wherein most of our viewers are looking for. We are now going to the top 6 things that agencies do not tell their foreign clients. So all you need to do, or the two of us do, is discuss these things. Let me get my list here. So, ready? So the first one is, foreigners can get work visa for their company even if they just open a rep office.
That's correct. Either the setup company, they can self-employ it, or the rep office, they can self-employ it also.
All right. Number 2, you actually don't need an accountant when you open your company.
That's correct too. You don't really need an accountant when you're after you set up a company, you will facing like a VAT reports and the annual income report. But you don't really need an accountant to help you to file that, as long as you know how to deal with that.
I can actually attest to that, because for Million DC, I personally file my taxes, but the only challenge for me is really like reading through the forms and where do I put each of the numbers, and then I personally go to the office and file it myself. Okay, so the number 3 is quite related. There are actually some accountants you can consult for free at government offices.
That's right. So I can say that if you really need some CPA and you have some quick questions, so you can go to the Taipei City Hall. So there will be a CPA's rotation there, or you can go through the Department Economic. There will be a CPA there.
Okay, the fourth one is related to foreigners who come to Taiwan as students. They can actually work even on a student visa.
Yes, the foreign students can really actually work, but you need to have your work permit in the beginning. So before you work, make sure that you already apply the part-time work permit. And for students' work permits, they will only allow you to work under 20 hours a month.
And this is regardless of the salary level, right?
Yes.
Okay. So number 5, and this is a little bit controversial. Entrepreneur visa is a potential trap.
Yes, a little bit embarrassing to say that, but for my self opinions, that's true. Because you can easily check that the entrepreneur visa's rules. If you want to extend it, you need to have the 3 million income, or if you want, or you have the 1 million expense, or you already hired 3 Taiwan's local employee. But it's not. But it's quite difficult as you're doing these kind of things in just a year. So for me, if you want to extend your entrepreneur visa, it's nearly like impossible.
I wouldn't say impossible, but it's really difficult.
It's
because
really difficult.
You need to have 3 million in revenues, or you need to have spent at least 1 million NT for your company. And in which case, if you already have that money, then why didn't you just register a company?
Yeah, that's
and
right.
it's even gonna save you money. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So the number 6 is that point is that you can get funding from any major city in Taiwan, and they all follow the same rules.
That's right, because all your subsidies come from the same department. So even you're doing subsidies application at the Kaohsiung is same as Taipei, but every city will have different budget. So we'll say that if you really want to get some subsidy, you need to locate at a big city, maybe like Taipei, Taichung, or Kaohsiung.
Okay. So, but if you want to compete, if you want to go to a less competitive city in terms of funding, you go to a less popular city. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's just that you might get more funding because every city will have their own project of that. That's the maximum how much they can provide you because they will have a budget there.
But mostly more of the budget goes to the major cities.
That's right.
Okay. So at least those are the 6 things that accountants don't tell their foreign clients. So I just need to ask you a few more questions. What do you think are the major changes in Taiwan related to having more startups that are foreign owned?
I think it's already changed a lot. You can easily see that we already have an entrepreneur project, we already have a gold card project, and even more, the rules for foreign to set up a company is not really impossible. It's not really high. It's like 500,000, then you can allow you to set up a company here and work here. So as I know, the government is still trying to improve these projects to attract foreign come in to encourage the Taiwan's economy. So I think we will see. I think government is already trying to make sure that the rules will be reasonable.
Let me pull it a little bit closer to the Fastart experience. I know you have handled different cases from basically different countries, for many different countries. What's the major complaint? What's the major problem that they face when they talk to you?
I think the major problem is the time and the price. So the time is that most of the agency or accountant won't provide an exact time that when they can get their documents or when the government will issue it. For us, it's not easy to predict it, but for us, you still need to give the clients a time that they can start to prepare the next things they are trying to build their business. They need the time, and the second is the price. Some of the agency or the accountant will just the price template is not really transparency. So sometimes they will have some misunderstanding about the fee from government and the fee from the service fee. So as us, we just make it easy. Just make it as a package. So for clients, they're easy to know that we just pay one time, and they will not showing that a lot of additional pay.
I guess what you're saying is that you try to be very transparent when you deal with the clients.
That's right.
We have to talk about Space 21. As you know, I'm not sure if many people know that we are co-founders at Space 21. It's a co-working space that it's more than just a co-working space. Do you think what we have here is where we want it to be?
I think we already make a great step. It's like we're already doing a lot of event is quite impact with like connections, like a lot of I think a lot of subject is really helping foreigners and helping our audience to get their resource. It's like we already have some VC events, some marketing event, and we also invite some owner, some entrepreneur here to share their experience. So most of I think that's what we want to see, that is this place is not just like a working place. People here can be connections, can be learn from each other, and we can also, as the owner, we can also provide a lot of different resource or like this kind of event for our tenants, our audience, our members, so they can know that this place provide value.
Okay, I think what we try to do is be friends with the founders who establish their business here, and from time to time we really talk to them and ask them what they need so we could provide it to them. For example, if they want to use this space for their own video shooting, we will give it to them at a minimal cost so that we don't harm their operating costs.
Yeah, that's right.
Basically the action item. What do we expect from Fastart and how can we help?
So basically we're trying to improve our service with two phases. It's like the first is we're trying to improve all the process can get it faster. That's what we brand name Fastart. So we're trying to save if we can see that this parts we can save some times, then we will do it, and we will make everything more easier. It's like maybe in the future we will have some crowds, have some like crowds bookings. This like you can easily to let us know what kind of service you like it and what kind of the document you will provide to us. You just upload at the cloud, and we will get it and try to make all the process at the fastest way. So the second is we're trying to make some different resource for foreigners, easy to know that when you maintains a business here, you will face some common problem. It's like when you issue your invoice, or the manual invoice is like handwriting. So always the content are not easy to write on the invoice. So we're trying to build a website that can easily help you to show a sample for you. So you just copy it. Or maybe we're trying to build like an NHI calculator, so you can easy to know that how is your when you are this salary class, how much insurance fee you might be paid. So you don't need to always follow the government's open data, but with all the Chinese, we're trying to do that in English way and make it simpler. Yeah.
I forgot to ask you, but this is really important for our audience. Do you process papers even if the person is still abroad?
Yes. So actually, for a foreign, when they're trying to set up a company, there's some common error. They might think that they need an ARC or partner with Taiwanese, but that's not true. Even for now, you're still located at abroad. We can go for like a rep office process just remotely. So you just need to prepare your passport, and you don't need to really partner with a Taiwanese.
Okay, so yeah, we'll look forward to more innovations coming from Fastart. That's the time we have for today. If you guys want to know more about Fastart, I'll leave the information in our description, so just feel free to look through the description. Until then, thanks, Carter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.